I'm Hector Ruiz, author of Slingshot and currently a high-tech entrepreneur. Innovation is an incredibly important word. It encompasses an awful lot more than just inventing something. I strongly believe that the only source of true innovation is fair competition, and that applies to churches, universities, industries, government. If you want to attract the best people, the best ideas, you got to compete fairly for them. And that leads to innovation and a recognition of what are the tools you have around you to be able to create the culture and the ecosystem needed to innovate in the particular space you're interested in. I'll choose Germany as an example. Germany is a place where the first thing that comes to mind when people think of Germany is that it's a very high labor cost environment. They have probably the highest labor rates in the world. But what doesn't come to mind immediately, because it seems counterintuitively, is the fact that they have the most competitive automobile industry in the world. And when you look at all the automobiles that people around the world wish they could have, if you ask people at random to say, if you could have any car you wanted, what would you prefer? More often than not, the chances are they'll mention a German brand. And when you look at BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, and you think all that came out of this little country in the middle of Europe, is because they recognized many years ago that they had an opportunity to innovate and create value, and they have formed some very powerful public-private partnerships that has led, in my view, to the best innovation in the automotive industry that we've ever seen. And that's an example of a well-orchestrated, fairly competitive environment, because these companies compete brutally against each other, but they've led to the phenomenal creation of things that we're benefiting from today. The same thing applies in other places. Italy is a good example of a place where innovation in design has always been on. When people want to design a phenomenally attractive car, they always go to Pininfarina in Italy, because they're known for the design. Say, their clothes, their fashion, that's the strength they have, and they have benefited from it for a long time, and they'll continue to invest in it. But every time you look at any of these strong innovation centers, they're always based on having built an ecosystem, having built a public-private partnerships that work, that understand what it takes to be successful. And as we go forward, I think in the United States we have a tremendous opportunity to be a leader in technology, in the fundamentals that eventually lead to the creation of other things, other innovative products in other parts of other industries. But in technology, there are two things that are on the verge of becoming a reality. One is three-dimensional and interconnect, which I discussed in Slingshot, and cognitive computing. And cognitive computing being that ability for creating a hardware-software product that can mimic the way a brain works. The combination of those two things are presenting us in the U.S. with the opportunity of creating an environment where we will nurture the success of those industries and will encourage the creation of products and services based on those technologies. Those things are going to lead to the creation of such powerful technologies in the future that the ubiquity and pervasiveness of technology will surround us, and we're not going to be aware of it. It's going to become part of our DNA, and we won't think of them as separate products, but we will think of them as extensions of who we are. And that's very near. Next 10 years or so, we're going to see those major breakthroughs. And I believe that if we can be smart, and I hope we can, intelligently in this country, we can create those areas of excellence around the country where we can benefit from clean, green energy, from better weather forecasting, from better computing technology, and really lead the world in all these areas.